Aoi loved the quiet hum of her apartment, the familiar scent of old books, and the gentle glow of her desk lamp. Everything was just as it should be, perfectly ordinary, or so she thought. One morning, her favorite mug, usually blue, shimmered with a faint green hue. She blinked. It was blue again. Just my eyes playing tricks, she mumbled. But a tiny seed of doubt had been planted. The shifts grew bolder. A familiar street sign twisted into an unreadable tangle of letters. The faces of strangers blurred into abstract patterns. The world was suddenly, terrifyingly unraveling around her. Sleep offered no escape. Dreams became vivid, chaotic tapestries woven from her waking anxieties. She'd wake in a cold sweat, unsure if the nightmare had truly ended, or if it had merely bled into her reality. She started avoiding people, fearing they would notice the cracks in her world, or worse, that they were part of the illusion themselves. Her phone, once a lifeline, felt like a heavy, silent brick. Kaito, her oldest friend, noticed her withdrawal. He called, he texted, he even left a small, hopeful note under her door. "Are you okay, Aoi? I'm here for you." Aoi stared at the note, her hand trembling. A part of her wanted to reach out, to confess the terrifying truth, but another part, the one whispering doubts, told her it was a trap. The world around her seemed to pulse, the colors shifting, the sounds echoing strangely. She closed her eyes, trying to ground herself, to remember what was real. A memory surfaced, Kaito's unwavering smile, the warmth of his laughter. It felt real, truly real. With a surge of desperate hope, she picked up her phone. The path to understanding was long and winding, but Aoi wasn't alone. With Kaito by her side and the help she needed, the world, slowly, gently, began to assemble itself. Her mind, though fragile, was also resilient and capable of healing. Einar was a man of quiet kindness. His days filled with gentle routines. He found joy in the simple things, the warmth of the sun, the quiet hum of his workshop, the soft melody Lyra hummed. But lately, a strange shadow had begun to stir within him, a flicker of impatience, a sharp thought, a sudden urge to snap at a minor annoyance. He brushed it off as stress. The shadow grew. What was once a fleeting thought became a simmering resentment. He started to see flaws in everything, cruelty in every innocent mistake. His gentle hum often turned into a low growl. Lyra, his dear friend, noticed the change. "Are you all right, Einar?" she'd ask, her voice soft with worry. He'd shrug or offer a curt reply, the kindness in his eyes slowly dimming. One evening, a small accident occurred. A glass slipped from Lyra's hand, shattering on the floor. Einar, instead of comforting her, felt a surge of cold anger. "Clumsy," he snapped, his voice harsh and unfamiliar. Lyra recoiled, her eyes wide with hurt and disbelief. This was not the Einar she knew. A chill entered the room, colder than any winter wind. Einar watched her, a strange satisfaction bubbling within him. Then, a horrifying realization dawned. The anger, the cruelty, the sharp words, they felt good. This was him. This was the monster within. He no longer fought it. The gentleman faded, replaced by a cold, calculating presence. His hums were replaced by a low, contented growl. His touch by a chilling indifference. Lyra tried to reach him, but her words bounced off an invisible wall. The man she loved was gone, replaced by a stranger with familiar eyes that held an unsettling gleam. The monstrous within had fully emerged, not as a beast of fangs and claws, but as a chilling void where kindness once resided. Einar walked among them, a man transformed, a silent testament to the darkness that can bloom in the human heart. Mira, an artist, lived in a quiet cottage on the edge of the Whispering Woods. Her days were filled with charcoal and canvas, capturing the silent beauty of the world around her. One gray afternoon, while exploring an old antique shop, a peculiar mirror caught her eye. It was ornate, with dark, swirling patterns etched into its frame, and an unsettling stillness in its polished surface. She brought the mirror home, placing it in her studio. At first, it was just another object, reflecting her workspace, her art, and her own focused face as she sketched. But as days turned into nights, Mira began to notice something subtle. A flicker in the silvered glass. That wasn't quite right. One evening, while practicing a new pose, she saw it. Her reflection, a split second behind, then holding a different, unsettling expression. A sneer, a flicker of coldness she knew wasn't her own. She lifted her hand, and the reflection's hand twitched, a shadow of a different gesture. The discrepancies grew bolder. When Mira smiled, her reflection sometimes scowled. When she picked up her charcoal, the reflection might clench a fist. It was as if another Mira, one she didn't know, was living just behind the glass, making choices she would never dare, expressing emotions she suppressed. Mira tried to ignore it. She covered the mirror with a cloth, turned it to the wall, even considered selling it. "It's just my mind playing tricks," she whispered, convincing herself it was the late nights, the solitude, the strain of her art. Denial became her closest companion. But the reflection didn't need the mirror. It seeped into her thoughts, a cold whisper in her ear, urging her towards petty cruelties, dark fantasies, choices she'd always dismissed as unthinkable. Her charcoal strokes grew harsh, her canvases filled with twisted, shadowed figures. The darkness from the mirror was becoming her own. One night, she awoke to a chill. The mirror, uncovered, glowed faintly. Standing before it was not her reflection, but a shadowy figure, a doppelganger, identical yet utterly alien. It was the embodiment of every denied impulse, every suppressed anger, every fear she had buried deep within herself. The doppelganger moved, a silent, mocking imitation of her own walk. It reached for her, its eyes burning with a cold, knowing light. Fear, raw and primal, seized Mira. This was the horror she had invited by refusing to look inward, by denying the shadows that were always a part of her. There was no escape. Mira knew, deep down, that this creature was not an external threat, but a part of her, made real by her avoidance. She had to face it, not with a weapon, but with acceptance. She closed her eyes, took a shaky breath, and opened them, looking directly into the doppelganger's gaze. As she acknowledged the darkness, the doppelganger shimmered, its edges blurring. It did not vanish, but softened, dissolving back into the mirror. No longer a threat, but a silent reminder. Mira understood then. Self-awareness wasn't about banishing shadows, but about integrating them. Only by truly seeing herself, whole and flawed, could she find peace.